Hello and welcome to my Legends of Runeterra deck guide. Today we'll be looking at a Teemo Sejuani deck. Here's the deck list, and this might be one of the most fun decks I've played. The deck uses Shrooms to trigger Plunder and level Sejuani, and when it all works together you get this. And your opponent does this. Over 50 games with this deck, I had a 66% win rate and climbed into Masters. I put together this graphic to show the win rates. I grouped together the decks into broad categories where there wasn't enough sample size. So aggro includes discard aggro, burn, Bilgewater Noxus aggro. Mid-range includes Yasuo, deep, tempo Sejuani. Control decks include Shadow Isles Throwlord control decks and Karina decks. Matchups that were particularly difficult were aggro and Ashe Sejuani. But outside those matchups, this deck did really well. For the deck, I run the Shroom combo of Teemo, Puffcat Peddler, and Chump Womp. I don't think Clump of Womps is very good. One Mushroom Cloud does not justify its weak stat lines. I don't run Omen Hawk just because I didn't know what to replace. There may be some case to run 2 Static Shocks and Harsh Winds to fit them in, but I didn't experiment with this. Starlit Seer is a strong unit. It buffs up your units when you use cheap spells such as the Shrooms. It's not exactly your win con, but a strong card and gives your units just enough stats to trade effectively. Many players I faced in the mirror overvalued protecting this card. I would protect it if you had no other key units to protect like Teemo or Puffcat Peddler. I run Avarosian Sentry as it's a decent blocker and helps cycle through the deck. I've seen some versions not running Tusk Raider. In my opinion, this card is a must-have in this deck. It helps you close out games and keep up with other decks, and it can give you some big Sejuanis.
You own what you take. We own all we see!
For removal, I run Thermobeam, Static Shock, and Gotcha. I run 3 Static Shocks to help into aggressive matchups where they spread their board wide, and it can also help as an extra Nexus damage trigger for Sedge. I run Gotcha instead of Mystic Shocks as the extra damage helps in bad matchups like Discard Aggro and Ashe. The disadvantage is it cannot hit Nexus and trigger Sedge's effect. To protect the key units, I use Elixir of Iron and Fury of the North. Fury can also be used aggressively to push lethal or get better trades with your units. I run Harsh Winds because it's crucial to stall out to build up your Shrooms and level Sedge. And it can act as an extra freeze if you're unlucky with your Shroom procs. And I also include Shared Spoils as the Shrooms proc the Plunder effect. It helps cycle the deck and is a cheap spell for Peddler and Starlit Seer. Starting off for tips. Don't play Teemo round 1 into P&Z decks which run Thermobeam if you do not have the attack token. Wait until turn 2 on your attack and force them to burn 3 mana with their Thermo. Playing Puffcat Peddler on curve is often a mistake if your opponent runs removal for it. You're better waiting for a Chump Womp first, then you can play Peddler and use the Shrooms to maximise your value. The goal of the deck is to level Sedge, and so you need to squeeze in Nexus damage where you can. I often attack aggressively using Fury of the North and Elixir of Iron to protect my units as I push for Nexus damage. Playing all your Shrooms the moment you get them is often a mistake. You ideally want to play them with a Puffcat Peddler on board. Additionally, if you play them early, the Shrooms will be spread more evenly through your opponent's deck, and you may not get Plunder procs when you need them. If you wait until your opponent has less cards in their deck, you get higher chances of Plunder procs on the rounds you need them. Which goes into my next tip on Tusk Raider. This card wins games, and getting a Plunder proc from Shrooms on turn 8 so you can play it is so important. Typically I use all my Shrooms in turn 7 to get better odds of a Plunder proc into turn 8. For the Mulligan, cards to keep are Teemo, Avarosian Sentry, but not more than 1, Starlit Seer, and Thermobeam. I keep Gotcha in matchups where you need the free damage removal, like against Callista, Jinx, or Ashe. And if you already have some early units, I'd also keep Elixir of Iron, Puffcat Peddler, and Chump Womp. Hopefully you try out this deck and enjoy playing it. I put the deck code in the description below, and if you enjoyed the video or the deck, please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.